Yes, hello everyone, and welcome into the Full 10 Yards at Betting podcast. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you all enjoyed Thanksgiving weekend. If you followed our predictions and our selections, you would have been quids in because it's probably by far and away the best week of the year. Both me and Liam coming in at seem to have a bit of a Stuart's inquiry, but I thought me and Liam were both 5 out of 6, but apparently it was just me. Adam and Liam getting. Just the two selections. Adam didn't seem to put a touchdown score in, so I can't rule him as a.
Check out my Thursday. I gave out 5 bets, all of them won, including Mustard at 10 to 11. Sorry, CD Lamb for the Thursday. Sorry, and then Mustard on the Friday.
Long and short story is if you followed us and you watched in last week's betting selection and you followed, not that you would have been rich many weeks of the season, but last week would have certainly brought home the turkey, so to speak. But yeah, lo and behold, hope you had a lovely Thanksgiving. Obviously at back end of the fantasy season as well, so I hope all your teams are going well. We're going to look, as we always do, over the week's games. We'll start off, fellas. Actually, no, how was everyone's Thanksgiving? I had a lovely roast dinner with the wife. But Liam, how was your Thanksgiving? Do anything much or?
Didn't really exist for me. My birthday was the next day, so Thanksgiving was low key for me. I did watch 2 of the 3 games though. I didn't want to stay up and watch the Seahawks get spanked. So good football. The Packers game was fun, so that was good.
Yeah, and for those that have been watching throughout the season, you will, the eagle-eyed amongst you will realise that for the first time in what seems about 13 weeks, all 3 of us are in on the podcast today. So clearly, Liam and Adam have settled their differences. So yeah, it could be a bit of a long one this one. But Adam, how are you? How was your Thanksgiving?
Yeah, now the Bengals are out of the running for everything. I can talk to Liam without having any animosity between our teams. Thanksgiving was good. Went around to mates. He did nachos, chili, and pizzas and stuff like that. So yeah, all good. And as I say, obviously I had 5 winning bets on the Thursday and had Jeff Wilson and Mustard on the Friday as well. So yeah, a very profitable week, couple of days, even if the games weren't the most exciting.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't know it judged by what your attire because it looks like you've not got the heating on.
It is very cold in this room. I was saying to Liam before, I don't have any curtains in here, and the radiator doesn't go on because it only gets used 2 nights a week. So, yeah, I am fully wrapped up in this one.
Put 50p in the meter. Anyway, we'll look ahead to week 13. I'm not sure what week it is when they start flexing into or Saturday night football. I think that's more around Christmas time, isn't it? So we don't have to worry about that yet. But Thursday night football, as ever, this week sees the Dallas Cowboys hosting the Seattle Seahawks. 8.5-point favourites are the Cowboys. 46.5 is the over/under. I thought personally that this line was a tiny bit high. Adam, don't know about your thoughts.
I mean, the Cowboys win at home and they win by 20 points. So I guess it will be inflated because of that. But at the same time, the Seahawks aren't very good at the moment. And Geno Smith obviously has been banged up. Kenneth Walker's not there. So, well, he's officially doubtful. I don't think he'll play. They just haven't been able to move the ball very well recently. And if the Cowboys are the team they think they are, then they should take care of this by 10 points at least. So, yeah, I do agree. It's probably inflated. It was, I think it was 9.5 yesterday, so it has come down a little bit. But yeah, I do. I mean, if I was taking one on the spread, it would be the Cowboys -8.5.
Yeah, I mean, we've not really learned too much about the Cowboys up to date, but I think the next couple of weeks we will start to find out a bit about the credentials of the Cowboys. Obviously, Seattle tonight at home, but then we've got games against Philadelphia, Buffalo, and Miami. On the horizon. So, for all those that shake the stick that you've only beaten bad teams or you beat up on bad teams, yep, that's all well and fine. But yesteryears Dallas seemed to always fall flat on their face. Maybe they fall flat on their face tonight. I'm not sure, but yeah, they are smooshing the bad teams. But certainly the next couple of weeks will show us if Dak Prescott's earning his top PFF grade as a passer that they always like to they put on the socials. But Liam, your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I think the spread probably is slightly high, but I've just got no confidence in Seattle to score enough points to be able to cover the spread and to win the game potentially. So yeah, it's slightly inflated maybe because of the Cowboys' performance over the last 3 or 4 weeks. But yeah, if I had to pick a side, I'd pick the Cowboys. That wouldn't be my best bet, but yeah, I would pick the Cowboys. The total as well is a little bit weird. I don't really know where to go with the total because you almost feel like with the Seahawks team, they could score 35 or they could score 12, and you would have no idea which Seahawks offense is gonna turn up. But yeah, I love Dak Prescott, as you know, so he's playing really well. Probably MVP. Actually, the MVP in terms of how he's playing, but storyline wouldn't win it right now. But my best bet for the game is his favorite target, Jake Ferguson, for a touchdown, 7-4. I didn't really like much else out there, and every time I picked Ferguson score, he scored. So I'm going to go with Big Jake, number 87, on the seam, probably in the end zone, whilst he ignores CeeDee Lamb and throws it to Jake, hopefully. So.
Yeah, just a point on the totals. I'd say with not that Kenneth Walker's not always been the most efficient runner this season, but yeah, I think with Geno Smith's kind of totting up of injuries, I probably would lean the unders. That being said, I'm not going to be playing the line because you've got Deron Bland who could just put in a pick six, or this Dallas defense could put 6 or 12 points up. So Dallas could score 35, 40 points like they have done loads of times this season. Seattle defense is okay, but it's not in the echelons of Baltimore and Kansas City. So I'm not. I think it's too risky a play considering how opportunistic the Dallas Cowboys defense is as well. And you can get the odd let's say the banana skin from the Cowboys offense. So Seattle have enough playmakers on defense to maybe to have a score or short field as well. So I'd probably go on the under on there. But Adam, do you want to give us your best bet?
Mine was Brandon Cooks over 41.5 receiving yards. He's gone over that in 4 of the last 5 games. Michael Gallup doesn't seem to exist anymore, which is frustrating for my fantasy team, but they obviously are mixing it around a bit more. I just posted up about Deron Bland, 4-1-ish to record an interception. Obviously, he is setting records all over the place, so that might be one to have a nose at. But yeah, Brandon Cooks over 41.5 receiving yards. He'll probably take 2 catches to do that. He tends to get the deep shots, and he's been doing very well with them. And it'll be interesting to see how Cowboys versus Dolphins goes in a few weeks if neither of them can beat winning teams. I don't know how they can both lose, but I'm sure they'll find a way.
Tie. Yeah, I was looking at some awards, and I saw Deron Bland was 10-1 to win Defensive Player of the Year, which I thought was a bit spicy. But like I say, they like a narrative, and if he's going to do a few more pick sixes, then I can't personally see them taking it away from Garrett or Parsons or TJ Watt. Would be one of those 3, I'd have thought. But they like to throw a stat as a reason why people win certain awards. But so I thought that was quite interesting. My favourite bet for today, like I say, the total points line is a bit dodgy. I don't necessarily like the handicap line either. So I've gone Cowboys to score points every quarter, 11-8. The reason I've gone for that is, like I mentioned before, the Dallas defense can score. So you do get quarters where sometimes some teams don't touch the ball, but when you've got a defense like the Dallas Cowboys, there's some others defenses out there as well. But even when the offense isn't on the pitch, there is a potential to score or have a short field anyway. So I quite liked that at 11-8 for points each quarter, because when you're scoring 45 points, especially at home, it's going to be hard to just kind of bottleneck that into a half or a quarter or whatnot as well. So I quite like the spread on that, and we seem to be okay throughout the whole game. So the only obviously worry is if we blow in Seattle out early at halftime and it's 28-7 or something then in the second half. But 11-8, I'm happy to take the chance on that. And we will go from there. Okay, Sunday night football is the Kansas City Chiefs traveling to Lambeau to face Green Bay Packers. 5.5 point favourites are the Kansas City Chiefs. Over under here is 42.5. That doesn't seem right. I think it might be 40. I can't remember. I'll have a quick look at that. But
you're right.
Liam,
that's right.
I don't trust myself when I do these anymore. I don't know why. So I tend to. I think it's because did I lean over in this one? Yeah, over 42.5. Liam, which I think you've gone for something similar as well. But I'll let you. I'll give the floor to you.
Yeah, I have. I've gone for Chiefs win and over 40. Well, over 43 is the odds, but you can get 42.5 on other bookies as well. But yeah, I think it will go over as well. I think Jordan Love's playing pretty well. Chiefs do a very similar thing where if they are winning late in the game by a couple of scores, the other team will be able to get as many yards as they want. The Chiefs will just kind of play prevent for the touchdown, and you might get a couple of late field goals and stuff from the Packers if you think the Chiefs are going to win. But yeah, I just think Jordan Love's playing well. Patrick Mahomes is playing really, really well. Green Green Bay Packers awful against tight ends. Green Bay Packers awful against running backs, and that's the two players on the Chiefs that are the best weapons. So I think both offenses will probably have relatively good days, and I do think with how good the Chiefs defense is at turning the ball over, there's a chance you might get some points going the other way for the Chiefs defense as well. So yeah, I think the Chiefs will win. I actually don't mind 5.5. A lot of Chiefs games fall on 6 historically, just with the way teams play them quite aggressively and going for 2 and going on for 4th downs and stuff. So yeah, I don't mind 5.5, like the over. There's another one I like as well, Chiefs to win and Pacheco to score a touchdown, 6-4. They are really feeding Pacheco, and like I said, they can't stop the run in Green Bay. So it's going to be freezing cold. So it wouldn't surprise me if they run the ball a lot on Sunday night. And we'll see if Rashee Rice can have another good game. But yeah, it should be fun. I don't think Patrick Mahomes ever played in Lambeau, and it's quite a cool stadium, isn't it, to watch? I wish this was at 9:25 and they flexed it out, but unfortunately, I'm going to have to stay up till 5 a.m. before work, which is fun.
The dramas of being a Chiefs fan. Never mind. Adam, you've gone for a touchdown scorer. I think Liam mentioned about the tight ends, but you've gone for a tight end in this one, not Tucker Kraft.
Yeah, no, not the most difficult choice in the world, but anywhere near even money for Travis Kelce, I'm probably going to take, and he was 20-21, so near enough even money for him to score. Happy to hear about the Packers being terrible against the tight end. I didn't realise it was going to be freezing. That means AJ Dillon's probably worth a look as well, because he gets going once it gets cold. So yeah, you're not getting massive odds on him. I think Bet365 is 11-8, and
Aaron Jones is injured.
Find the prices quickly.
Yeah,
Aaron Jones is not. Yeah, he's still listed on the 365 for some reason, but obviously, probably. Well, he's not going to play. So yeah, AJ Dillon is worth a shot. He generally gets going when it's in December, so is worth a go. If maybe Kelce and him is probably about 4-1, something like that.
Have you got the odds there? What price is Jordan Love anytime touchdown scorer?
Jordan Love is 9-2 on 365.
Fancy him to run one in, maybe. I don't know. And the old fake. Anyway, Peyton Manning style against Dallas Cowboys. Enough said about that game. Let's move on. Monday Night Football. Prior to obviously the start of the season, you'd think it's going to be an absolute classic, but as Adam has kind of foreshadowed, it's not going to be the greatest of games, especially if you're a Bengals fan. But nevertheless, Jaguars are 8.5-point favourites at home with the Jake Browning visiting Bengals. Over under here is 38.5. Adam, are you going with the Jaguars on the handicap?
No, I do not think. I think 9 points is a little too high, to be honest. I don't think the Jags have been smooth recently. Admittedly, the Bengals defense is not very good, and the Bengals offense with Jay Browning probably isn't going to be very good either. It is his second game in a row, so I'm hoping it'll be a bit better. In fairness, he did all right. He seemed to have decent protection, which is something Burrows never really gets, but apparently they stepped it up for Jake Browning. He took ages on some throws, but he was getting 3-4 seconds to throw. So if he can speed that up a little bit with a little bit more familiarity, a little bit more kind of, this is what I'm playing against, then he should be okay. But yeah, I'm kind of contradicting myself, because I do think the over is a shout, but then if I'm saying that the Jags aren't going to cover, it means the Bengals are going to score 20-odd points, and maybe that's pushing it a little bit. They won't be facing the defense they faced last week, which is good, but the Jags defense has been pretty good this year, just not to AFC North levels. So yeah, I'm struggling on this one, to be honest. I think the Bengals will be able to move the ball. It's whether they can finish off the drives, and the Jags, I think it depends which Jaguar team turns up, to be honest. But the Bengals defense has been the issue for most of the season, and I don't see that changing. So I guess I would lean to over if I was going to. My best bet, I went with Zay Jones over 28.5 receiving yards. It was between him and Calvin Ridley. Ridley's blown up since Zay Jones has been back. But Ridley will also get probably better coverage from the Bengals defense. Whether that really means a thing with them not playing well, I'm not too sure. But yeah, I went with Zay Jones because he's the big man who 29 yards isn't much. So I figured he can get that.
Yeah, Jake Browning clearly picking up the tab when the quarterbacks and O-lines go out for dinner, obviously. So that's probably maybe why.
Yeah.
I've gone for.
Yeah.
I do fancy the Jags on the handicap in this one. Like I say, I think the Jags will on defense will do enough to kind of stifle. I don't think the Bengals will get into the red zone very often, so it's just going to be kind of field goals. They might have the odd drive or two, but I think it's kind of a case where the Jags will just come in and take care of business at home as well. I just feel quite confident that they're maybe after last week's win against, was it Houston, wasn't it? I think that was kind of a bit of a turning point for them, or kind of okay, let's get down to business. The division is obviously not sewn up, so I just think the Jags will kind of be businessman-like and kind of get the job done. Liam, your thoughts on the game? You've gone overs, I believe.
Yeah, I've gone over 38, only because my number said this was the biggest advantage of the week, should be in the kind of 41.5. So that's quite a lot of points difference for my spreadsheet.
You've upset Adam. Adam's gone. You've upset him.
I've upset Adam. Jake Browning. I'll say this because he's not here. I actually did agree with him that Jake Browning played quite well, to be fair. And I was looking, their team total points, and you never thought you'd see this with the Bengals team, 17 plus points is 7-4. I just think, I know the Jags are all right on defense, but they still give up the odd big play. And I just feel like with Jamar Chase in your team, you can score 2 touchdowns quite quickly, regardless who's playing quarterback. But yeah, I've gone for over 38 because I do think the Bengals will get into double figures. And like Adam said, the Bengals defense has been awful this season. So I do think the Jags are going to get 27, 30 points. So I just think that over is a good bet. You can do Jags -5, Chiefs -2.5 as well, double on Virgin for nearly 2-1, which I quite like as like a Sunday night, Monday night boost. But yeah, I won't be staying up to watch this game, unfortunately. By the way, I think this is the first time all season our 3 teams have been the 3 primetime games. But
good chat.
One is not like the other anymore, unfortunately.
Not quite.
There we go. They are the prime time games. If you are watching, I'll stick the handicaps across the screen now. As there we go. Adam, do you want to give us your best handicap spread for week 13?
Good question. Yeah. Oh my God. We know why Liam keeps going for this team, but I've been saying that I would never ever back them. But they're playing the Patriots, and the Patriots are one of the worst teams in the league at the moment. So, Chargers -5.5 points. Chargers are going to charge her, but they're playing the Patriots. And if it was possible for someone to outcharge the Patriots, it's the Chargers is the Patriots at the moment. To drive down the field with a chance of tying in a high-scoring 10-all affair and then miss a 35-yard field goal, I think it shows all you need to know about the Patriots this year. It was laughable, and the Chargers should be able to take care of business. It might not be the offense, although the offense is looking a little healthier than it has done in recent weeks. But the Chargers defense should be able to take care of Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi, depending on which one they decide to destroy the morale of first this week. You'd imagine surely Mac Jones can't start again, but it seems to keep happening. If the Chargers get 15
start
points,
Mac Jones if you want a better draft pick next year, so you can take a quarterback.
And that might be what Belichick's doing, but then the quarterback's going to come in and he's got Juju Smith-Schuster as his wide receiver 1 or Devontae Parker, so whoever comes in is screwed anyway. But Chargers should win. As I say, if they get 15 points, they probably covered the spread on this one. So I'm quite happy to take them this week, although I am expecting pain. And I'm pretty sure Liam keeps taking them because it makes them lose. So he's happy either way.
Yeah, I did look back and see how many times I've lost with the chart. I've actually lost 3 weeks in a row with the chart. 2 weeks in a row. So why not go to the well? Third time lucky. And I've gone Chargers as well.
Even a blind squirrel finds a nut, Liam.
Exactly. And Adam knows why. Justin Herbert, I love him. Top 3 quarterback for me. So I think they'll win and score a lot of points. And I do agree that the Patriots might be the worst team. They might be the worst team to watch in the NFL. I think the Panthers are probably the worst team.
Yeah, definitely.
But the Patriots are definitely the worst team to watch. And yeah, maybe quarterback roulette, chuck a bit of Malik Cunningham in, who one of my Patriots friends tells me could be the starter next year, and I'm saying he hasn't even played over Bailey Zappi, so I'm not sure he's going to be the starter in the NFL. But yeah, I just think Chargers will score too many points on offense. This is their last. They won't make the playoffs, but if they lose this, they're basically done mathematically. So for them, they have to win this game, and I think they'll win the game by two touchdowns.
There you go. confident Chargers victory. Jesus Christ, where have we got to? I'm going to go for, you mentioned the Carolina Panthers being the worst team in the world. I've gone for Tampa Bay -5.5 as my best bet at home. They should be at least a touchdown here. And Baker Mayfield, I know, is a tiny bit dinged up, but I think he's okay to go. And they've just got, Mike Evans is tearing it up this season. Rashad White's managed to finally find 100 yards rushing game. And essentially you can do whatever you want to the Carolina defense. So I think Baker Mayfield and all the guys will at home have absolutely no troubles as well. And on the other side of the ball, the Tampa Bay defense is half decent, and Bryce Young and that offense has looked absolutely inept and abhorrent this year. And how it's only 5.5, I'm not overly quite sure. So yeah, I'd even maybe juice it up if you want to be a bit frisky, juice it up to 7. Or even 9.5. I don't know, but I'd be quite confident here of a double digit win for the Bucks. Who, last time I checked, I don't know if they're still in the hunt for. I'd need to look at the standings for the NFC.
Yeah, they definitely are.
NFC South.
Yeah, they
are. Everyone's in the hunt in the NFC South. I think the Panthers probably still are, to be honest.
Technically, mathematically.
Can we do a Chargers Baker Mayfield 9.5 double? Is that the bet of the pod?
That's your bet. But I am not touching the Chargers with your. Not even with your money.
I am not touching the Panthers with the new coach bounce. I'm not going anywhere near when they've sacked their head coach this week. Admittedly, they are absolutely terrible. But I don't trust teams getting rid of things that they probably don't like. So we saw what happened with the Raiders. They got a bounce for a few games, and even looked good for a quarter this week. So, yeah, I'm not going near the 5.5. Although I will transition us onto the overs because I have gone for over 38. I think it was in this very game, 37 over 37 in Panthers versus Bucks game. Mainly because I think the Bucks can put up 20 to 25, and I think the Panthers will probably put up 14 to 21. So I do think we'll get an overs here. I know we've been on Panthers overs a while this season, and for a few of them, and they've let me down all the time. But I do think the new coach bounce is a thing, and I think they'll have a little bit more than they have, which in fairness still makes them bottom 5, but. A little bit more than they have for most of the season.
Fair enough. Liam, you're over under for the week?
Yeah, I'm a bit of a walking cliche with these two teams. The Chargers being in the handicap, and then this team being in the over under. But I've gone for Jets Falcons over 33.5. Why have I done that? It's probably just because the total's so low.
I love the unders in that game. I absolutely love the unders.
Falcons offense play much better with Desmond Ridder. I think they'll score 20 plus points, and then I just need the Jets to score 10.
There is absolutely no way that they'll. Oh no, sorry. Yeah, I thought you were going to say. Did you say the Jets are going to score 20?
No.
I was going to say there is hell would freeze over before the Jets score 20.
Nah, Jets are scoring about 10 after a terrible Arthur Smith 4th down decision in midfield, and then Falcons will score me 24, and I'll win the bet by half a point and be happy next week. That's the dream. But I thought
most brave man.
I thought most of the totals were pretty bad this week, to be honest. They were a lot higher than I thought they were going to be, but I just didn't have confidence in some of the defenses in some of the high total games. So yeah, I've gone for this one. But yeah, this could be the one that looks the worst come Sunday. So we'll see.
Yeah, and it strikes me as one of those games where Bijan and Tyler Algier are just going to have run for 300 yards because you can just run on the Jets, and no one's going to most quarterbacks don't really want to throw on the Jets, but asking Desmond Ridder to throw on the Jets, no, I don't think that's kind of the way to go. So I think they'll just run. It'd be a boring game, but yeah, I'd like the enders on that one. I've actually gone for a bit of a weird one. It just stuck out to me, and I'm not quite sure why. I don't know if it's because I thought that the line was maybe a bit too high, but I've gone New Orleans and Detroit under 46.5. Yeah, under 46.5. Yeah. New Orleans don't really. I know Chris Olave probably will go, or he'll probably be right, but the New Orleans offense just is devoid of. I know they've got Taysom Hill, and I couldn't find any Alvin Kamara props over receptions, but he's going to get double-digit targets this week against Detroit. But so if you find any Alvin Kamara props on receptions, go overs on that. But Detroit's defense the last couple of weeks hasn't been great, but I don't really think the New Orleans offense is going to score many points, and I think the Detroit offense may struggle against the New Orleans defense. So I just feel that it might be just one of those weird games where they just can't put any offense together and can't score. And I just thought 46.5 was maybe a field goal too high. I was maybe expecting 44, 43. So just an inkling on that one more than I didn't have any stats to back it up or anything more. It's just more how the offenses and defenses are playing, and it had a few injuries in there as well, and just seemed a bit high for me. So I've gone under 46.5 there, just because that stood out. But the other one, I did look at going under in the Jets game. That was what I rated initially, but changed on that one.
Yeah, we'll see how Sunday. I could be regretting this massively. After about like one quarter, I'll just text the group and be like, "What have I done again?" But I was going to mention, you just need to watch Derek Carr, and then you love the under in any New Orleans Saints game. He is.
But the problem is they bring Taysom Hill in, and he does stuff. So
he runs around like a madman and does everything. But yeah,
I still don't understand how Taysom Hill gets away with quarterback draws.
Yeah, because it's coming, but he just
he does the most stupidest fake where he'll grab the ball and he'll do like a massive lean back and then be like, "God, let's ride."
That's Taysom for you. I actually like the spread in that game. I was going to mention it a minute ago. That was my second option. Lions are only 4.5, and I think with Derek Carr they should win by a touchdown. But I just can't see the Saints scoring loads of points.
Lots of question marks over Saints receivers as well. Obviously, Shaheed and Olave were both banged up last week, and Michael Thomas, although he's completely useless and the scumbag, is out. So, they are down to kind of bare bones, possibly. So, it does make sense.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't listening. I don't know if you said Shaheed's dodgy as well, but I don't think he's going this week, Shaheed. So, I just think it's just going to be one of those scrappy little NFC games, and it'll go under. As usual, not really too much to talk about in terms of touchdown scores, but we have gone for a couple. Like I said, I mentioned about the Falcons running all over the Jets. So Bijan Robinson obviously is my best touchdown scorer bet. I haven't got any prices up yet, so I assume he'll probably be 4 to 6, but you might get somewhere that does 8 to 11 or something. But maybe have a look at Algier as well.
13 to 8 for Bijan.
Is it?
365.
There you go. Mortgage on. And then Adam, you've gone for
Arthur Smith.
well, exactly. Yeah, Adam, you've gone for JT's more than capable replacement.
Yeah. Zach Moss, he scored 2 touchdowns, had 195 total yards against the Titans earlier in the season. So we know he's going to get the full workload. Probably not 25 touches as he did earlier in the season, but he will get a lot of the ball, and we've seen that he is more than capable. So yeah. Jonathan Taylor probably 2 to 3 weeks, I think they said, after thumb surgery. So he should be back for maybe a playoff push for the Colts. We'll see. But the Titans, obviously, Will Levis showed up for one game, so I think the Colts have probably got enough to handle them, and should mean a lot for Zach Moss, I reckon.
Lovely stuff, like that. And then Liam, you've gone for someone who's just come back from injury and absolutely went nuts last week.
Yeah, I gone for Kyren Williams, the Rams. Filled this in yesterday and didn't think the odds were going to be as bad as this, but I've just checked, and they are 17 to 20. But I still like it because I just
21 to 20 on 365.
There we go. Our very own odds checker in the house. I'll go for him definitely at 21 to 20. Then I just think that's Sean McVay's bread and butter, really, running at the goal line. Cooper Kupp still hurt again. Tyler Higbee as well hurt a little bit this week in practice, and I just think even though they're against a good defense in the Browns, it's running on the Browns in the red zone is kind of the only chance you've got this season. If you try and pass, your quarterback's going to get annihilated. So I'm going to go for Kyren Williams to score, and I actually quite like the Rams to win that game as well and stay in the hunt for the playoffs in the NFC.
Yeah, you think they're going to beat Joe Flacco? How's that going to?
Joe Flacco. There we go.
Yeah. Anything over even money for Kyren Williams, I'm definitely on that. And if you can get 2 or more on him, then he's definitely worth a look. It was 10 to 3 for 2 or more last week because I was on that one. So it wasn't huge odds, but yeah. 9 to 2, sorry. Did you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely worth a go.
There we go. All right, let's have a quick recap. I haven't got the visual, so I'll just quickly run through these. Thursday night football, Cowboys to score points in every quarter, 11-8 for me. Cooks over 41.5 receiving yards for Adam. Jakes Ferguson touchdown, 7-4 for Liam. Sunday night football, over 42.5 for me. That's, of course, Green Bay and Kansas City. Kelsey, anytime touchdown scorer for Adam. And Liam's gone for the Chiefs win and over 43 points at 11-8. Monday night football between Jacksonville and the Bengals. I've gone for Jacksonville on the handicap, -8.5. Adam's gone for Zay Jones over 28.5 receiving yards. And Liam's gone over 38 for the total points. Favourite spreads for the week, I've gone at Tampa Bay -5.5. Best spreads for Adam and Liam are, for some reason, Chargers -5.5. Best totals, I've gone under 46.5 in the New Orleans Detroit game. Carolina, Tampa Bay over 37 for Adam, and then Jets Falcons on over 33.5 for Liam. And then touchdown scorers, Bijan Robinson, Zach Moss, and Kyron Williams. And that is week 13, all in a nutshell. Thank you to Adam. Thank you to Liam. Good to see you all in the same room again, boys. Hopefully we can do the same again next week. And hopefully we'll have the same performance like we did last week and bringing home the bacon. Good luck with all your bets. Please gamble responsibly, and we'll see you next week.